Stampers, it's Gigi with StampFUNatics, and today I have another cute gift idea for Christmas. And this one I got straight from Connie Stewart, one of our fellow demonstrators. She is really good at creating all these boxes, and so I've kind of copied it, but changed it up how I decorated it. I'm using my candy canes again, like I did on the last box. So if you open it up, you get coffee and donuts. Isn't that cute? These are cute donut sticks that a Little Debbie's makes. And the box is like this. I found mine in Walmart. Maybe Target might have it, but I was near a Walmart, so I went there. And then I'm going to be using the sweet candy canes. I'm going to be using Christmas cheer as my saying. And these sweet little candy canes, I'm going to show you a shortcut I did there. I used these two dies, and then I used the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper. So simple, simple, simple. I just put these over, let's say, one of the candy cane and just ran it through my cutting machine, my Stampin' Cut, and had my candy canes. So you can color, you know, make whichever colors you want. Because I kind of had a busy red and white, I decided just to do the plain green, but you can do them any way you want. Or you can take your stamp set, you can stamp it, and you can color it whatever color you want. Match whatever paper you want. So those are the matching candy cane dies, which I absolutely love. Okay, and if you're not a coffee drinker, she suggested, and I love it, cocoa. You could have cocoa and donuts. You don't have to have donuts. You can have cookies. You could have biscotti. You could have anything else. But I love the coffee and coffee and cookies idea. Ugh, coffee and donut idea. Boy, you can tell I can't speak today. Anyway, and then I added a few little of our adhesive back sequins again. And we're going to show you how to make this right now. Okay, so for my colors, my box is going to be shaded spruce. And with this, we actually cut it at 5 3/4 by 10 1/2. I'm going to show you how to score it. I'm scoring on my trimmer. You have one blade for cutting, and I have a different colored one that I put on for scoring so I don't mess up and do the wrong one. And so we're going to score it at 1 3/4. So I'm going to push that up out of the way. Go to the 1 3/4 mark. And we're going to score it on all 4 sides. Just like this. And one more. Now I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to build all of them at one time. Okay, the next thing is inside the box, we made a little circle thing here for your K-cup to sit in. So this way it doesn't run around, you know, and it also makes a nice partition for your little snacks that you're putting in. Okay, so let me show you how we made that piece. Really simple. I took a piece of my shaded green again, and this is 2 1/4 by 8, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go to this side. It's just a little easier to hold on to, and I'm going to score it there. Then I'm going to turn it because it's the same thing as if I would have done this, but it's awkward for me, and I can't really see the half mark. So that's why I kind of turn it around. Then we're going to 2 3/4. We're going to 4 1/4. And then we're going to 6 1/2. So I'm going to open up my arm and go out to the 6 1/2 mark and score there. Okay, and I'll show you this in a minute. The next thing we're doing is our lid, and I cut a piece of our Sweet Christmas Designer Series paper. Again, you could use whatever colors you have. This one is 4 1/4 by 10. Now here's what we're going to do on this, so that the lid is just a smidge bigger than the box for a nice fit. We're going to go to our 1 1/2, so that would be here, and we're going to go just 1/8. You see that? Right in between those two marks. We're not even going to do a whole 1/8 of an inch. We're just going to go just a smidge smaller than the 1 1/2, and we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So here's my 1 1/2. I'm going to back it up a little bit. Right about there, and whoops, let me get it up there by the top. We'll go ahead and do our scoring. 1 1/2 again, a little smidge less. There we go. Okay, so let's get rid of our scoring tool for now. And let's go back to the box. We're going to start with our box. I'm going to take my bone folder and fold nice crisp. On boxes, you want crisp edges. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold on all of our scored lines. And then let me get my paper snips. Here we go. And I'm going to go on the long side and I'm going to cut the first scored line. And then I'm just going to miter just a small, like that. Just a little angle from this end, and then I go right back to the edge. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. It just makes the box close a little easier. Okay, and then pull that little piece off. Let's turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And one more on this side. Just get that in. Okay. So now you can use any glue you want. It was suggested use your liquid glue. You can use your tear and tape. You just want a strong glue, or let me see what I did with my, I have the Stamp and Seal. This is Stamp and Seal Plus. You can use any of your strong, I have both of them, so it's your choice, Stamp and Seal or Stamp and Seal Plus. I'm actually going to use my liquid glue because, again, I like a little wiggle room before it dries. I'm going to bring in the tabs just like I did on my other video, my other box, and if you didn't see it, go back and check it. It had a cute little cocoa bombs and a little bit of Bailey's. It was just a fun one, and then one was whiskey, and I think it was peanut butter filled pretzels that I did for like a more guy version. And anyway, or it could be a girl. Girls like whiskey too. Who knows? Anyway, so now I'm just going to bring up my corners and make sure my edges are pretty tight there. You know what I mean? They're not hanging over and they're not too short. Do the same thing on this side. That little extra bit of glue off there. I'm just going to hold that down a minute and let it dry well. Okay, then I'm going to come over here. And this glue gets a little tackier as you leave it anyway, so it's not going to dry out on you while you're working on the other sides. Okay, now hold that again just for a minute, because this glue really does adhere pretty quickly. Okay, and that's your box. And now I'm going to take this small scored piece that we did and get my bone folder again. I'm going to go ahead and crease on all the lines. Okay, and then before we glue it together, we're going to do this. We're going to take our layering circles, and the way she determined, I guess, which one is just to take your K-cup, like it wouldn't really fit in this one, if you can see. So we're not going to use that. We're going to use the second biggest one over here, and you can put your K-cup about halfway through. Then you know you've got the right one. So we're going to use this one. Now, if you look over here at your strip, you'll see there's a bigger edge here and a very small one over here. We want to go in 1, 2, 3, 4 panels, and we're going to put this through our Stampin' Cut machine to cut out this circle. So I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and cut it through, and let me go ahead and put this die back. I don't want to lose it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in, put a little glue on this small edge, and then bring our side over all the way to the end, and we're going to line it up and then press down. Okay, so it's equal on both sides. And then that becomes our K-cup holder. And you notice how this is open and there's a side here? You don't have to glue. This will fit in the box. just fine without the glue, or you can add a little glue. I think I'm going to add glue, just so when they pull out the K-cup, the whole thing doesn't come out. But I'm only going to add it on one side and the bottom, and just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And then I'm going to fit that in, push it over into my edge. And if you can see, this is the solid end, which will be by our donuts, and then the solid end here is where I've glued. Take my little bone folder and just press it down in there real good. And there you go. I'm going to put in a little decaf one this time because I don't really drink caffeine, so I always have decaf in the house too. And let's get 2 of our donuts out. I kind of put them back to back. Go ahead and put them in our box. Everything's nice and tight. And now we're going to work on the lid. Now the lid's going to be a little harder to see because of this busy design, and I'm just going to crease it with my hands, because if I use my bone folder, this paper, the designer paper, is always thinner than our cardstock, and I don't want it to tear. So if you're too hard on it with a bone folder, it could tear. Okay, I don't know which side would be the easier, probably neither of them for you to see where to cut, but I can kind of see here, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip up, take my little mitered corner edge out. Same thing over here. Take it and do it the same thing here. And get that edge. Okay, I'm turning it in the opposite end. I'm going to cut it again. Okay, right about there. And let me just go ahead and do this side. It's easier, then I can flip it up. Okay, then we're just going to miter here, and there, and this end. So you're doing it just the way you did your bottom of the box, but you're just making room a little bit more on the top so that you can get a good fit. Okay, since I want this side to be on the outside, I'm going to pull these tabs in, give it a little glue. And remember, when you're making boxes, you do want to use a strong adhesive, just because you're putting products and things in them and you don't want them to break open. So use your stronger glues for when you make a box. All right, and we're just going to bring the corners up again like we did. And the same thing here. Turn it around. And do this edge. Now, again, I'm just going to hold it for a few minutes. Make sure it's got a good seal. And that's the lid to our box. And look how easy it goes on. Isn't that great? And if you notice, the bottom here is a little bit shorter so that we'll be able to open it better. You know what I mean? Like you have something to grasp when you want to open. Okay, now we're going to decorate it. So I have my 2 candy canes that I've kind of pre-cut out to save time. I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal and just use a really small little bit right here. Kind of measure that my 2 ends are about the same width. And then I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional, put it one up here on each end, and one in the middle, and just take all that off. I'm going to center it on my box. Press all that down. Now I'm just going to take a piece of white paper. I'm going to take some real red ink because that's the color of my paper. And I'm using the Christmas Cheer stamp, oops, that was too glary there, that came with the sweet candy canes. Let's see, just stamp that right in the middle. And I'm going to bring back my layering circles. Oops. And I'm going to take, I think it was the smallest scallop. Was that it? Yes, that fits it really well. I'm going to run that through my machine, which I've already done to save a little time. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and put that right where these two meet, just like that. And of course, because it's Christmas, I wanted to add a little sparkle. So I have these beautiful adhesive backed in gold and green and white. And I'm not sure what color, maybe a coral color there. But I'm going to use the green because it really matches the green of my box. So I'm going to use my little, take your pick tool. Oops. Section there, and let me screw that back down. Okay, then I'm going to, let's see, where's my box? Here we go. I'm going to put one large one up here in the corner, and then I'm going to add two more large ones down here in this corner. And then I actually added one of the smaller ones right under the word cheer to bring that green back up a little. And that's it. Look how cute these gifts are. Aren't they going to be fun for your neighbors, for your friends, for your family, even for teachers? I thought it would be a perfect gift for your child to bring in for their class teacher. Anyway, so if you need any of these products, you can purchase them here at StampFUNatics.com. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and email me. And I hope you give me a thumbs up and keep watching for more videos. I'm going to have some coming. I will be doing more treats or stocking stuffers. At this point, I don't think I'll be doing the cards because we're pretty much in the mail by now. And then maybe a thank you note for our Christmas gifts also. So stay on alert. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.